What's up, YouTube? This is Ricky with the 125. Hey guys, I had a subscriber on YouTube ask me. He was like, "Hey, can you make a video about how to introduce your fish or how to introduce your new fish into your aquarium?" Or some reason why his fish kept dying. All the new fish he kept adding to his aquarium kept dying either that same day or the day after. He could never get his tank going. And I was like, hey, what is a better way to introduce a new fish when you just got a new fish to introduce? Yes, guys, it's a clown feather. He's a knife, part of the knife fish family. Like my black ghost knife fish over here, hiding out. And he's a bad boy. He just cost me a little pretty penny. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I mean? It's my Christmas present. It's my Christmas present. I'm not gonna tell my, fiance how much he costs, but hey. Anyway. First thing before you even go to the fish store and buy yourself a new fish, you want to make sure all your parameters are A-OK. I mean your pH, I mean your ammonia, I mean your nitrates and your nitrates. You want to make sure that's A-OK. Because let's say your new fish that's at the pet store, it's all its life. You know what I mean? It's been coming from a clean water environment. The previous owner or the local fish store has been taking care of these fish. If it goes in there and your ammonia sky high or your nitrates are sky high, he's not gonna make it. He's not used to your water, so that's not making it any more difficult for him in that process. Or you trying to break down your ammonia. If you got ammonia spike. Try to control your ammonia before you add anything else in that. Any fish, any livestock in your tank. So before you even go to the store, make sure that your parameters of your water are A-OK. Secondly, before you even buy a fish, you want to know... Sorry, dropped something over there. You want to know if your fish is compatible with the fish you already have in your tank. Now, if you already have an empty tank that you're gonna put them in, that's A-OK. That's A-OK. You don't have to worry about anything like that. But if you're gonna add him into a tank, like I'm gonna add my new fish over here to this tank, I want to know if he's compatible with the fish in here. Because you can very well pour your fish into the tank and then he gets swallowed up. You can very well pour your fish into the tank and he gets bullied. You could very well pour your fish into the tank and it just stretched out and it just doesn't work for him because, the pH and all that stuff. You gotta make sure your fish are compatible with the fish you want to bring in. After you make sure they're compatible, I don't want to hear about, I didn't know before I bought a spontaneous. Look, guys, this is the 21st century. We got cell phones. If I'm gonna buy a new fish, I'm like, man, I can pull out my smartphone and just browse the internet, you know what I mean, and see what this guy's compatible with. It's that simple. Don't waste a lot of money, and especially if you're going to a local fish store. These guys, they spend their own money to go out and and buy this fish. Yeah, they give you a guarantee on or depending on what store you go to, they give you a guarantee on your refunds. But come on, seriously, that's not just waste of. These are actually live animals. So do the research. Make sure they're compatible. Make sure you're doing all the necessary steps before you even introduce a fish. And now here's where it gets tricky. Once you get your fish, okay, you did the research, you make sure your water's compatible, you make sure your water parameters are A-OK. You want to get home as soon as possible. You don't want to stop by Arby's or Chick-fil-A or, Outbacks and have yourself a full course meal and leave your fish in the car, hot heat or cold car. Because if I bring you over here to the bag, I'm not sure if you guys can see. I'm not even sure if he did anything yet. But, you know what I mean? They're always flexing their gills, so you can't really see the deadly, ammonia. Fish always, every time they breathe, ammonia comes from their gills. So you want to get them out of that bag as quickly as possible because it's just like a mini tank. But you don't have a filter. It's small, and the temperature fluctuates because how thin the bag is, and you have no heater in there. So you want to get them out of that bag as quickly as possible. Now, if you go to Chick-fil-A, I mean not Chick-fil-A, but you know, a nice little restaurant, you're in there. Your fish might very well die just under the stress it is. You know what I mean? Look, they're in the fish store. Little kids are banging on the wall, like, oh, mommy, fishy, fishy, fishy. So and once the fish handler gets the fish out of the bag, and you're driving on the road, you might be hitting bumps on the road and everything. This fish is stressed out. So you want to make this journey to your fish, to your home, as quickly as possible. Now, where a lot of mistakes come from, people like to just, when they come home, they get their fish, they like to just pour the bag into the water, the fish into the water. No, you don't do that. See, what I've been doing, my fish has been sitting here for about 10 to 15 minutes. I want to hit about 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes is good. That allows the water in the bag to adjust to the water in the tank. So you want that temperature to change the water in the bag. So when you actually take your fish out of the bag and put them in the water, there's no shock to the fish. It's kind of like when you are about to take a shower, right? And the water's too hot or the water's too cold. We can quickly, as humans, turn off that water. Oh, God, it's hot. Or we can quickly jump out. Your fish cannot do the same thing. So if you put him in, if he's coming out of a really warm environment and you just throw him some cold tank water, yeah, he's probably going to go in a shock. He's probably not going to do well. He might get bullied even because he just doesn't, you know what I mean? It's not fair for the fish. You're stressing your fish out more than what it needs to be. So make sure that you are adjusting the temperature of the water in the bag to the water in your tank. That's very important. Once you do that, you do not just pour the bag of water and the fish into your tank. Now, my fish, I know my water's good. I know my local fish store water's good. If they have a bad tank, they're like, hey, we're going to shut this tank down. We're not going to sell anything from this tank because they have ick, they have a hole in their head or whatever. Until they figure out the problem, I'm not going to sell you anything, you know? And I really appreciate that. But you don't know everybody's water, right? And if you pour it into your tank, you can start some problems. You're like, oh, Ricky, I got a 125. A little bit of water, it's not going to hurt. Yeah, true. A little bit of water is not going to hurt. But let's say they have some kind of a bacteria in their water, right? You don't know how fast that bacteria reproduces. You don't know how fast that's going to take over your tank. You don't know if that water has some kind of ick in there, and then you wake up the next day, all your fish has ick. You don't want to take that risk. Don't take the risk and exposing your original fish to a disease where you could have prevented the whole thing. You're just gonna have a headache.